Welcome. So what I want to do today is show you how to find the distance between 2 points. So there's a certain formula that we're going to use to help us solve this out. Rather than trying to decipher it and kind of work through it, we're just going to use what we call the distance formula. So the first important thing is we need to determine what these 2 points are. So we know here that's going to represent my distance, but this point is 3, 1. And this point is at -2, 5. All right. So a couple things to help us out with this is, one thing, if I want to find this distance, one thing you can use is you can notice that we can create a right triangle, right? And by creating that right triangle, if I find this distance, if I find that distance, we could actually also use the Pythagorean theorem to find out what the length of the hypotenuse is. However, by deriving the Pythagorean theorem, what they came up with is what actually this distance is. So rather than having to figure those out and use the Pythagorean theorem, we can actually just plug everything in to this formula. So it says the distance of your hypotenuse equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So you might be looking at me and saying, okay, what is the x2, x1, and what is the y2, y1? Well, what we notice is we have 2 points, right? And remember, each coordinate point has an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So what we're going to do is, if I label this xy and this xy, and then I say, what is x? Well, you'll have 2 answers, right? You'll have -2 and you have 3. So I need some way to distinguish between these two. So I'm going to label this x1 and this x2, this y1 and this y2. It's just a way using subscripts to help us differentiate between our variables. So now what I'll simply do, and it doesn't matter which one you pick as 1 and 2, as long as they're the same, you're okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug in my values into my formula. So x2, I said, was -2 minus x1, which is 3, square that, plus y2, which is 5, and minus y1, which is 1, squared. Okay, so now I just need to do a little simplifying. So I have -2 minus 3, which is -5. And I know I'm just going to do this a little bit over just to make sure we all have it. -5 squared plus 5 minus 1 is 4 squared. So therefore I have square root of 25 plus 16, which equals the square root of 41. So now I need to determine, what is the square root of 41? Well, I'm just going to use my handy calculator because I know that 41 is not a square number. So the square root of 41 is going to give me irrational decimal. And we'll just approximate it to 6.403. And that is how you find the distance between 2 points. Thanks.